Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chats. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong life for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you're good. I don't know why it's each morning I go live and the internet starts to play up. But anyway, that's the, what do they say? Murphy's Law. Hopefully it's all working, folks. Good to see you on a Monday, marvellous Monday. Thanks for joining Wealth Coffee Chats. 10 past 8. It's probably going to be a quick one today. And I did notice I forgot to change the old headings. So we're not going to talk about taxes today. We're going to talk about debts. But if you really want to know about the tax conversation, go back and have a look at what I did on Friday. Friday, we did the taxes. Today, we're going to talk about debts. But quick hello and good morning while the intro's getting rolling. Things are warming up. Kevin's always there. Good morning, mate. Facebook user from the mentoring clients behind the veil. Morning, Aaron. Good to see you, mate. Jeff's in the house. Jeff, howdy. And Beck. Hey, Beck. Good to see you. If you didn't already know, most of you do, though. Jason Witten's my name. We've been doing this 10 past 8, Wealth Coffee Chats for a while now, where we hang out, just talk about the world of property investing. Different dimensions, different thoughts, ideas, strategies, techniques, pontifications, opinions. So each week we get together about 10 past 8 and talk about what it takes to go the distance as a property investor. And over the last little while, if you've been watching the Wealth Coffee Chats over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a bit of a review, a bit of an overview, folks, an overview of where, where we might be at with our strategy and our understanding, our knowledge, our focus, whatever that might be. It's always good to do that at the beginning of the year. And we've gotten to the section, which is the 4 quadrants. I call the 4 quadrants of investing, about your income, your assets, your taxes, and your debts. We've done the income section. Go back and have a look at that. We've done the asset section. We did the taxes section the other day. And today we're going to talk about debts. Debts, lending. Not all debts are created equal. So that's what we're here for today. We'll have a quick session on that. Might finish a little bit early today because I've got a couple of things I need to go do. But great to have you all here. And let us know in the chat if you're new, what's going on. Say a quick hello. And let's get into it today. 2 types of debts, folks. What are they? Chuck that in the chat for me. Get involved this morning if you're able to. What's the type of debts out there? And really sort of it boils down to 2 versions of debt. There's lots of different types of loans you can get. Not all of them are any good. I put that in the chat. Good and bad. You're onto it, Beck. Exactly. Yep. No flies on anyone today. Really, at the end of the day, there's 2 styles. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Not good. That's funny. Good and bad. Right? And what's the definition, really, when it comes to, good debt, bad debt? In essence, there's the drill. You guys have seen this before. We've chatted about it many times, where good debt creates an income. You buy something that goes up in value. That's preferable. And it's a tax deduction. It has tax deductibility, okay? The ability to minimize your personal taxes or minimize the taxes of its costs that it's being used to buy the asset. Bad debts, folks. You guys know the drill in this, I'm sure. And if you don't, good. Bad debts go down in value. Down in value. So the thing you're purchasing with the debt, folks, is going down in value, not up in value. It's not creating an income. It's not creating income, and it's not no income, and it's not deductible. Not deductible, okay? So those debts steal from your ability to borrow and buy and move forward as an investor. And we need to make sure that you get a healthy dose of good and eliminate, if not eradicate, the bad. That's the idea when it comes to these debts, what sort of debts out there that we can get exposure to. Well, in the world of borrowing, there's the good stuff. There's investment debt. So when it comes to mostly our world, stuff that we borrow and buy for investments, there's personal debt. Personal. Now, when I say personal, I mean, I'll talk about that in a minute. There's sort of, business debt as you go. And let's just call it other stuff, all right? In here, that can be things that are attached to, probably attached to one of those three things, but we'll have a look at that in a minute, right? So investment debt, creating income, personal debt, things like your own home, credit cards, those sorts of things, they're in the personal bunch. Business debt, other stuff that might affect one way or another, affect positively or negatively the world of borrowing when it comes to this stuff, right? So what might they be? Well, let's go and have a look at and I showed this the other day. Let's go and have a look at the calculator. We call it, it's a calculator we use as lenders, borrowers, and brokers helping people get loans. And, let's go and have a look at what that might mean in reality, in practical terms, when it comes to the ability for us to borrow and things that affect our borrowing power, our ability to borrow, team. And so this is a program. Brokers have access to it. Banks have got different versions of the world. But you guys saw this the other day. And we, let me see if I can make that a smidgen bigger. No. Just going to try and make that a little bigger so we could see it. But no, that's all good. We'll just roll with however it looks. If I can find my mouse. All right, so let's go and have a look at this. Let's say just some basics here. I'm just going to put some numbers in here so we can have a quick look at what affects things as we go along. I'm just putting 120 grand in here when it comes to our world of borrowing. And let's scroll down and have a look at the things that might be considered debts when it comes to bad debts. All right, let's go and have a look at what we would call, these are personal liabilities. So let's have a look at bad debts. Now, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure we've got the gist of what an investment debt might be. Property investments are great. They're probably the most easily understandable, but what are bad debts and what's the effect, folks, in here? Well, let's go and have a look at the personal liability. So, did you know that a lease, right? If your name is on a rental lease, that can affect your ability to borrow. Most of you in business would know this. A car loan, a personal loan, other loans. There's plenty of other lending mechanisms out there. A margin loan is from the banks for buying shares, credit cards, and overdrafts. Well, let's just have a look at this right now. Up here, we've got, I want to borrow $1 million. I want to borrow $1 million to buy a $1.2 million property. Now, this is just simple figures here for us all, folks, so we can just have a look at the effect of these different liabilities. Bad loans. Not all bad loans are created equal, but all of them are bad. Which one's the worst one? This is a guess. Which one or multiple of these are the worst when it comes to borrowing, folks? Which ones? You reckon leases, car loans, personal loans, margin loans, credit cards, or overdrafts, or a number of them? okay? Or all of them. All of them are bad. Which ones are the baddest? It's not great English, is it? Right, let's muck around and have a look at this. All right, we'll chuck this in here. All right, let's go and say we have a lease, and let's go and put in here a limit amount in here of $10,000, right? Let's go $10,000. Have a look at our max borrowing capacity up here. That calculation didn't change it. So a lease or not in all circumstances, all right? Now, let's go and have a look at a car loan. Let's see if that changes the borrowing power up the top here. Not immediately when it comes to margin loans, Luke, yep. Car loan, not hugely effective at a $10,000 amount, by the way. Personal loan, this is because some of those amounts, some of those interest rates are quite low. Personal loan, not massive effect at this moment in time. Let's do a margin call or a margin loan. Let's see if it affects it. Not significantly at this point because you can liquidate margin loans. All right, let's have a look at these two. You guys know the drill already. All right. Credit card, boom. Drops off $200,000 worth of borrowing power, pretty close. And then here we go, overdraft. Boom, same thing. All right, so it's interesting, right? It's interesting. The two worst ones are an overdraft for a business or a credit card for you as a person, right? So imagine business owners, they get a credit card and they get an overdraft. Double whammy, right? If I added both of them in there, it would reduce their borrowing ability pretty significantly. To the tune, so $10,000, do the math on this, folks. 10,000, like if for every 10 grand, you're about 100 plus 100 and a bit down in borrowing power. 20 grand, you have a look at that as we go along, certainly for the credit cards and stuff like that. Do the calculation. Yeah, there you go. So $20,000, 100 grand down, $100,000, 100 grand down, right? So at the end of the day, these things, you got to try and get rid of them. With these other loans, certainly for you and I, these are baked in often to the expenses, living expenses in a lot of people's daily livings. But the credit card and the overdraft, folks, is the horrible one, right? What else can affect it? You guys know the drill. In here, let's say we are buying this property and the rental yield on this property. You know, let's say you get $500 a week. You shouldn't be buying that for $500 a week, but it's pretty rubbish. You know, still helps out. But for every $100, let's say $800. You know, look at the difference. If you $800 coming in, another $140,000 worth of income. Let's say you could get, you know, $1,200 a week. Where does it tap out when it comes to the asset, the loan that you're getting? Now 1.654, right? So the difference. The difference in income, so when you buy the investment debt, the income that comes with it can make a huge amount of difference for borrowing. Personal, certainly your own home, doesn't create income, doesn't create tax deductions. It can have a challenge. It does create some growth, right? So there's a conundrum right there when it comes to this stuff, right? For you and me, these other debts, leases, and bits and pieces, we need to keep an eye on them. Business, an overdraft, it can, you know, have a double whammy. The credit card and the overdraft can hold you back, your borrowing ability. Now, if I put all the other expenses in there, it'd get really, really tight, but I'm just doing some examples today as we go along. So I think I'll leave it there, folks, because I've got a couple of things I've got to get to this morning, and I've got a little bit less time this morning. But, you know, at the end of the day, make sure we understand what debts are good debts and how they can help us move forward, and what debts are bad debts and the ones that are going to hold us back. And for most of you, you guys have been around enough to hear this again and again, so we can navigate this well as we go along. So all good. Okay, that's it then, folks. I'll call it early this morning. Great to have you here. Join me tomorrow for another one. If you're around, we'll do it again. All right, folks, that's it from me. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.